Matlock, 1986 to 1995, wasn't just a courtroom drama. It was a beloved television staple that blended legal intrigue with Southern charm, all anchored by Andy Griffith's iconic portrayal of the sharp-witted defense attorney, Ben Matlock. Week after week, viewers were drawn into clever cases, heartfelt moments, and a cast of familiar faces that felt like family. But behind the scenes of this classic series, time has taken its toll. Over the years, several of the show's beloved actors have passed away, some suddenly, others after long and meaningful careers. In this tribute, we honor the talented stars of Matlock who are no longer with us, reflecting on their unforgettable performances and the lasting impression they left on fans around the world. Andy Griffith, who portrayed Ben Matlock, was 60 years old when he first stepped into the shoes of the clever, Southern-fried attorney known for his sharp courtroom skills and homespun charm. Griffith's role became iconic, making Matlock a household name, yet behind the scenes, his life was often far from the warm and confident persona he projected. Griffith had 2 marriages, first to Barbara Bray Edwards, with whom he adopted 2 children, Andy Samuel Griffith Jr. and Dixie Griffith. Tragically, his son Andy Jr. struggled with alcoholism and died in 1996 at just 38. Griffith's second marriage to Cindy Knight lasted until his death, though friends noted the relationship became distant in his later years due to health issues and reclusiveness. He battled Guillain-Barré syndrome in the 1980s and suffered from chronic pain and heart problems. After Matlock, Griffith struggled to find meaningful roles and grew disillusioned with the Hollywood system. Isolated on Roanoke Island, North Carolina, he withdrew from public life. Despite his wealth, reportedly around $60 million, he led a quiet, even somber existence. Griffith passed away in 2012 at age 86 from a heart attack. Though beloved by fans, he was a complex figure haunted by personal loss and private suffering. Don Knotts, who played the quirky and lovable Les Calhoun on Matlock, was already a legendary comedic figure known for his bumbling, high-strung characters. He joined the show in the early 1990s, bringing levity as Matlock's eccentric friend and neighbor. Knotts had a string of failed relationships, marrying 3 times, first to Catherine Metz, with whom he had 2 children, Thomas and Karen. After divorcing Metz, he remarried Laura Lee Chuckna, then later Frances Yarbrough. Though his third marriage lasted until his death, Knotts admitted to loneliness and bouts of depression, especially in his later years. His career dwindled after Matlock, with minor guest roles that often mocked his aging and physical frailty. Off-screen, he suffered from macular degeneration and cancer, and in his final years, he became reclusive. Despite a lifetime of laughter, he endured personal pain behind the scenes. Knotts died in 2006 at age 81 from pulmonary and respiratory failure. His estate was modest compared to his fame, estimated at $20 million, yet he remains one of TV's most cherished comedic legends, a man who made millions laugh while often hiding sorrow behind the smile. Clarence Gilliard Jr., who portrayed the loyal and resourceful private investigator Conrad McMasters on Matlock, was just 33 when he joined the cast. Athletic and intelligent, his character was a trusted right hand to Matlock, often doing the gritty fieldwork with quiet integrity. Off-screen, Gilliard's life was marked by both redemption and regret. He was married twice, the first ending in a painful divorce plagued by infidelity and long separations. His second marriage to Elena Castillo brought stability, and they had 6 children together, including sons Peter and Elijah. Still, Gilliard admitted in later interviews that fame had taken a toll on his family, and he struggled with substance abuse in the 90s. After Matlock, he found success on Walker, Texas Ranger, but later left Hollywood entirely to become a university professor and devout Catholic, seeking peace through faith. Diagnosed with a long-term illness he kept private, Gilliard passed away in 2022 at age 66. His estate was valued at approximately $5 million. Though his life had dark chapters, he found redemption in faith, family, and education, inspiring many students in his final years. Jason Bernard, who played the dignified and fair-minded Judge Mark Braddock on Matlock, brought gravitas and subtle warmth to the bench. He was in his early 50s when he joined the cast, known for his precise delivery and presence. Bernard's career, while steady, was often marred by typecasting and racial barriers, which limited his opportunities in film and television. He married Deborah Bernard, a union that saw both joy and strain, particularly following several miscarriages that left the couple heartbroken. Though they had one son, Marcus, the family dynamic remained tense, with Bernard spending much of his time on sets or auditioning. Off-screen, he struggled with hypertension and exhaustion, often masking his pain with an affable public persona. Despite Matlock giving him a rare spotlight, roles grew scarce afterward, and Bernard began to take voiceover work to pay bills. He died suddenly in 1996 from a heart attack at age 58 while still actively working. His net worth at death was estimated at $700,000, a modest sum for a man whose talent was often underutilized. Remembered for his steady performances, Bernard left behind a legacy of professionalism shadowed by a career cut short. Warren Frost, who portrayed the wise and warm Billy Lewis on Matlock, joined the series later in life after decades as a theater actor and educator. He was already in his 60s when he appeared as Matlock's trusted friend, bringing a quiet wisdom and understated charm to the role. Off-screen, Frost lived a more secluded and intellectually rich life, married to Mary Virginia Calhoun for over 60 years. They had 3 children, including Twin Peaks co-creator Mark Frost. While his family life was stable, Frost carried emotional scars from his early years, serving in World War II and surviving a near-fatal case of pneumonia that damaged his lungs for life. His career in Hollywood never reached great heights until late in life, and after Matlock, he briefly gained recognition on Twin Peaks. Still, he remained ambivalent about fame and preferred the academic world. In his final years, he suffered from multiple chronic illnesses and faded from public life. He passed away peacefully in 2017 at age 91. His estate was valued at roughly $1 million. Though never a star, Warren Frost was remembered for his integrity, gentle spirit, and deep love of storytelling, both on stage and off. Richard Newton, who portrayed the doctor and coroner in various episodes of Matlock, brought a measured and professional energy to his role, earning quiet respect for his precise delivery and calm screen presence. Though largely unknown to the public and with sparse records of his life, his time on Matlock marked one of his most notable television appearances. Following his guest roles, Newton's acting career faded into obscurity, with few if any credits in the following years. Rumors swirled that he struggled with depression after failing to secure steady work, and some colleagues noted he became reclusive. There is no public record of marriage or children, leading many to speculate he lived a solitary life. Several unconfirmed reports suggested he might have faced financial instability in his later years, perhaps working outside the industry to make ends meet. With his current status unknown and no confirmed date of death, Newton's legacy is a quiet one, his understated performance on Matlock standing as a rare public trace of a life that may have known great personal sorrow behind the scenes. William Shallert, who played the composed and respected Judge Arthur Beaumont on Matlock, had a distinguished presence that lent authenticity to every courtroom scene. Already a seasoned actor by the time he joined the show, Shallert was widely known for his calm authority and gentle dignity. Behind the scenes, however, his life had its share of hardship. He was married to actress Rosemary Diane Wagner for more than 5 decades, a union that bore 4 children, though the couple reportedly went through several long separations due to his workaholic tendencies. After Matlock, Shallert's career slowed, and he suffered periods of intense loneliness following his wife's death in 2015. His son, Edwin, struggled with substance issues, placing further emotional strain on the aging actor. Shallert himself battled peripheral neuropathy and severe arthritis in his final years, making public appearances rare. Despite these personal challenges, he continued voice work to stay engaged. He passed away in 2016 at the age of 93 from natural causes. At the time of his death, his estate was estimated to be around $1.5 million, most of which was placed in a trust for his grandchildren. David Froman, who portrayed the loyal and even-tempered Lieutenant Bob Brooks in Matlock, was a consistent screen presence whose understated authority made him a key figure in the show's crime-solving narrative. Born in 1938, Frohman was beloved by fans for his gentle demeanor and genuine chemistry with Andy Griffith. However, his off-screen life was far from serene. Frohman was married to Audrey Stein for over 30 years, and while they shared a deep bond, the couple faced tragedy when their only child, Matthew, died in a car crash in 1996 at age 22. The loss devastated them both. Professionally, Frohman left acting in the early 2000s, shifting to teaching theater at Northeastern Oklahoma A&M College. But his departure was due in part to recurring health issues, including a long and private battle with cancer. He passed away in 2010 at the age of 71 due to complications from the disease. Friends remember him as a warm mentor and an introspective soul, quietly grieving his son until his final days. His estate, though modest, was valued at approximately $600,000 and left primarily to his widow, who later established a scholarship in their son's memory. Alice Herson, born in 1929, took on various guest roles in Matlock, often portraying maternal or legal figures who brought a sense of warmth and credibility to her scenes. Her television career spanned decades, with notable roles in soap operas and primetime series. Yet beneath the surface of her professional poise lay a complex and often painful personal journey. Herson was married to actor Stephen Elliott until his death in 2005. Their marriage, while outwardly stable, was marked by long periods of separation due to work and disagreements over priorities. The couple never had children, a loss Herson once described in an interview as her silent ache. In her later years, she withdrew from acting, choosing instead to care for her ailing husband. After his passing, Herson lived a reclusive life in Los Angeles, reportedly battling bouts of anxiety and memory issues. Despite limited contact with the industry, she remained financially comfortable, with her assets estimated at $1.2 million. Now presumed alive at the age of 96, she is rarely seen in public, her legacy quietly preserved by fans who remember the grace she brought to every role. Robert Donner, who brought energy and eccentricity to multiple guest roles on Matlock, had a knack for portraying characters who stood out, quirky, animated, often suspicious or offbeat. His screen persona was larger than life, but his real life carried shadows. Married to fellow actress Jill Sherman in the early 1970s, their relationship ended in divorce after a tumultuous decade, during which Donner struggled with alcohol abuse and mood disorders. They had one son, Jonah, with whom Donner had a strained relationship due to years of absence and emotional volatility. Professionally, Donner's career faltered in the 1990s after a series of health issues and a minor stroke that affected his speech. He withdrew from public life, retreating to a small home in the California desert. Friends recalled his bitterness over being typecast, and his regret over how fame eluded him beyond character roles. He died in 2006 at the age of 75 from a heart attack. His estate, valued at just under $500,000, was reportedly contested by his ex-wife and son, reflecting the unresolved pain that lingered even after his passing. Keene Holiday, who portrayed the vibrant and street-smart investigator Tyler Hudson on Matlock, was 37 when he began the role in 1986. His character's energy and quick wit brought a balance to Ben Matlock's more methodical style. However, behind the scenes, Holiday struggled deeply with personal demons. A talented actor, he battled substance abuse throughout much of his early career, which led to his dismissal from Matlock in 1990. Holiday was married 3 times. His first 2 marriages ended in painful divorces due to his addiction issues. He found some peace in his 3rd marriage to Linda Copeland in the 1990s. The couple had one son, Kenneth Jr., who tragically died in his teens from a car accident, a loss Holiday never fully recovered from. After Matlock, his acting opportunities diminished, and he spent many years in financial instability. Though he later became a lay minister and worked in prison outreach programs, he often spoke of his loneliness and regret. Now in his mid-70s, Holiday lives a quiet life in Pennsylvania. He survives on modest earnings from his past work and some pension income. His net worth is estimated around $150,000, a far cry from his prime years. The spark that once lit up screens has faded, replaced by humility and spiritual searching. Nancy Stafford, who played the elegant and assertive attorney Michelle Thomas on Matlock, joined the show in 1987 at the age of 33. Her portrayal of a calm, intelligent legal mind was widely appreciated, bringing a refreshing dynamic to the series. Off-camera, Stafford had a complex and often turbulent life. She married Pastor Larry Myers in the 1980s, and though they publicly maintained a wholesome image, their marriage suffered from long separations and conflicting career paths. They remained childless, a source of private grief for Stafford, who later admitted to several miscarriages. Following Matlock, she tried to reinvent herself as a Christian author and speaker, but her television career slowly waned, leaving her with a sense of professional loss. She also underwent a prolonged battle with chronic fatigue syndrome, which limited her ability to work in the early 2000s. Though she remains active in ministry and public speaking, she rarely acts anymore. Now 71, Stafford lives in Florida with her husband in relative obscurity, having largely withdrawn from Hollywood. Her net worth is modest, estimated at about $400,000, with most income stemming from her books and faith-based appearances. Despite her dignified public image, her private life has been shadowed by loss and unfulfilled dreams. Bryn Thayer took on the role of Leanne McIntyre, Matlock's strong-willed daughter and fellow attorney, during the later seasons of the show. At 44, Thayer brought a unique toughness and emotional edge to the character, who was both a legal prodigy and a daughter seeking her father's approval. In real life, Thayer's life mirrored some of those emotional complexities. She was married twice, first to actor Gerald Anthony, whose battle with depression led to their divorce and his later suicide, which devastated her. She later married writer and producer David Steinberg, but the union was strained due to her long absences filming and his controlling behavior. They divorced in the early 2000s. She had one daughter, Liana, from her second marriage, though their relationship has been distant, marred by years of unresolved conflict. Thayer's career after Matlock faltered, and she often took small TV roles just to make ends meet. She also suffered a financial setback during the 2008 economic crisis, losing her savings in a failed real estate investment. Now 76, she resides alone in a modest condo in Los Angeles. Her net worth is around $250,000, and she occasionally volunteers at a local animal shelter. Though she once had a bright future, her later life has been marked by solitude and reflection on what could have been. Julie Summers, who portrayed the intelligent and composed ADA Julie March on Matlock, began her role in 1987 at age 47. She gave her character a soft-spoken yet firm sense of justice, serving as a foil and occasional love interest to Matlock himself. Before this role, Summers had achieved acclaim in the 1960s, even winning a Golden Globe, but by the time she joined Matlock, her career was in decline. In her personal life, she was married and divorced 3 times. Her first husband, Robert Vaughn, briefly in the 1960s, left due to infidelity. Her second husband, attorney John Carnes, was abusive, and the marriage ended acrimoniously. With her third husband, producer Scott Bakman, she had 2 sons, Ethan and Marcus, but both struggled with drug addiction. Ethan died of an overdose in 2005, and Marcus was incarcerated multiple times. After Matlock, Summers retired from acting, disillusioned with Hollywood and grieving her family's struggles. She became a recluse, rarely appearing in public. Now 84, she resides in a secluded New Mexico home, living off her pension and limited royalties. Her estimated net worth is around $300,000. Despite a promising start, her later years have been clouded by personal heartbreak, family trauma, and a retreat from the public eye. Which character from Matlock, TV series 1986 to 1995, holds a special place in your heart? How does it make you feel knowing that some of the beloved cast members are no longer with us? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share them in the comments below. If you've been enjoying this content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching.